too scary right now. I mean, I'm watching
Okay.
this. It's like, I guess it would be a thought. It'd be like, if I let it go, whatever this contraction is, then well, there's a fear there. If I let it go, I don't know. I guess I'd have to do the work on that. what
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
what that would be. So I guess if you want to,
Yeah,
we can do that if that makes sense. I don't, um,
sure.
if I tell the truth, tell how I feel or experience how I feel. It's like, see, if I think that way, then the thought comes up, I'm going to die. So the I'm going to die stops it, right? I'm going to die, so no reason to do it anymore. So when something comes up, like I get scared or fearful, it's like, oh, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. And that allows me, it's my mechanism to just go, okay, just go turn on the TV set, go get high, go do,
Right.
uh,
Right.
but I can
Interesting.
say, is
So the
that true?
thought.
I can do that at least. I can still say, is that true? But
Mhm.
what you're,
So if I'm following you, like the thought I'm going to die becomes like a
yeah,
distraction thought
yeah,
from whatever else it was that started you feeling stressed there.
yes,
And
that would
yeah,
be,
that makes a
that would
lot
be
of
true.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll just yeah, so very interesting. So it, yeah, yeah, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
We got 5 minutes. I wanted this done in five.
So it's yeah, it's scary to look at the real thing that's actually causing me to start me feeling stressed, right? It's just like addiction. Like I'll start with, um, you know, something something triggers me, and then how I react is I go into addiction to just not look at that, and it kind of works, but it doesn't really. But the problem keeps coming up. So it's the same thing here. Like something comes up and then instead of going to addiction I go into I'm dying, I'm going to die, and then that's a bigger fear but at least one that I'm familiar with, and I kind of go in that direction and get out of the looking at the thing that was right in my face going to scare me. um, Makes a lot of yeah, yeah, it's like that you just pile the mind just piles on, I'm gonna die, and now it's like really too big to deal with, so I'm just gonna not deal with it. Like your mind just forgets about it in a way. It's an interesting little thing the mind does. Yeah. Hmm. So okay, so you were saying, Don, that there was like a layer in there that you might want to work. Does that is that still something
Yeah.
you want to play with, or is just thinking about it the way we've been doing addressing that?
Either one, or I like the way you said a layer, where it doesn't have to end up to the complete turnaround, and now I'm healed. So I like what you said
Yeah.
about layer. If you want to either do that or talk about what you mean by a layer, that's a novel concept in spiritual work, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
No, it's just my experience is these stressful thoughts are layered, and I layer them on top of each other as I find them. So something happens, oh my God, I'm going to look bad, and whatever it is, this trigger situation, and then oh my God, I'm no good. Like I layer that on top of that. But really what started it was somebody is not going to approve of me. That's what really started the trigger here. And then I jumped in and put a layer of I'm no good,
Yeah.
as almost like a preemptive strike. Maybe I'll just be hard enough on myself that they'll have pity and not be so judgmental of me or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. So it's like layered, right? And I can keep going with it. I'm a big failure and I'm gonna die. Throw it all in there. Why not? So I don't. You never know until you get into it, but each stressful situation can show up that way. Can show up as different. Um, you know, you remove one thought and you end up there's another one sitting right there underneath it. That was actually the bigger thought. Like, oh wow, cool. It's like excavating. Oh, I found that one. Now there's something else there. Now I can work on that one, and little by little, like they say, peeling the onion, right? Just little by little, finding what's going on inside of me. And the cool thing about the work is you don't have to work on the deepest layer. Who cares? Just work on whatever layer comes, whatever, start anywhere. Any one will do. And each one, you just follow the breadcrumbs. Oh, this one, yeah, then that leads here. Then it's kind of fun.
So, okay, so a little one, just to keep it real simple and quick, more is that. So I was in the car with my wife this morning, and we drove somewhere and had to go somewhere else, and she was doing something. I said, "Oh, we got to go to get to the other place." So I pulled her away from what she was doing. Then we got to the other place, and for other reasons, I said, "Oh, we got to get going here," and she wanted to do something else there, so pulled her away from there. Right. So I was pulling away, and or I was pulling her away, and then she got in the car and she was upset. And I said, "What's wrong?" And she said, "Well, you're pulling me away from everything." And
Mm.
I said, I thought to myself, yeah. I didn't say that to her right away. I had to defend myself. I said, yeah. Um, and, but I needed to do what I needed to do. I said, yeah. And then the thought came in, God, Don, well, what a selfish thing to do. This is your wife. You love her. She's beautiful. She wants to do this. I know down deep, I want to support what she's doing. And so it's like, um, I'm not a good person, not a kind person, not a good husband, not a good father, not a good anything.
Right.
Just let me off the planet. That's another way I say, let me die.
Mm-hmm.
That's a more
Mm-hmm.
spiritual way of saying, instead of saying, let me die, it's like, God, take me. Because then at least I
Right.
don't really die, I just lift up, right? So, so that would be the
Exactly.
thing. So I was there, and then, okay, so like that there. Is that sort of an
Okay.
example
So
or more?
that's a great
Okay.
example. Yeah, I love it because you've literally gone into a very specific situation where this same thought came up, and what we're seeing here is that thought is really reaction. Like, how do I react? I go into I'm not a good person, and all of that. So, what would you have to be um, thinking and believing to show up as pulling her away from everything?
See that question one more time?
What would you have to be thinking and believing to show up to her as pulling her away from everything?
So I'd have to show up as just not caring, or
Right,
yeah,
right.
not caring,
Okay.
and that's horrible. Or that's my
Yeah. So let's look at that one. You're not caring in that situation. Is that true? When you pull her away, you're not caring.
oh god, that's a tough one. Well, I'll say I'll say yes. That one.
Okay. Good. So can you absolutely know it's true that you're not caring
No,
when you pull her
yeah,
away?
when I get to that question, No. When I get to that question,
Good.
no, I'm not caring. I'm just I'm just reacting, not caring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice to see the
Yeah.
difference, right? Yeah. So how do you react in retrospect when she gets angry or upset and you on some level think you're not caring for pulling her away?
Pull away.
How do you
I
react?
just pull away. Pull away, want to
Okay.
die. Or pull away, don't want to be here. Yeah. Don't want to deal
Exactly.
with it.
Yes.
If I dealt
Yes.
with it, I'd have to be vulnerable. I'd have to open up. Okay.
Exactly. So so when I think I'm not caring, I pull away
Yeah, I
and
do. Yeah.
try not to deal with it, right? Because it's too,
Yes.
yeah, vulnerable.
Yes.
And how do you treat yourself when you think you're not caring?
Oh, like an ant, like stepping on an ant. I'm just, oh God, just not even God take me there. It's like, just let me die into the hole. I can't even spiritualize it.
Yeah.
That's a really deep thought, huh? Okay, go ahead. It's like,
Yeah, here it is, sitting right here all along. But when you look at it, it's like, holy
oh,
tomorrow. Yeah. It's like, so um, who would you be without the thought when she's upset about you pulling her away? Who would you be without the thought that you were not caring when you were pulling her away?
I could hear her more, acknowledge, yes, I get it, and who I would be like, okay, let me give you a big hug, and then from there, let me relook and see, or we could talk about what we want to do. But it would be like the love first or the connection first, and then, you know, discuss what we're going to do. So, I mean, way different. I mean, I can see that in my mind.
Hmm.
I could have hugged her right there, and yeah, okay, that's who
Yeah.
I'd be.
So that thought, I'm not caring, interferes with that. It causes the opposite of I'm just gonna
Yeah,
get out of here.
right.
Without that thought, I'm not caring, then the love is there. Then the possibility of communication is there. So this thought gets in the way of that. That's what we're seeing really clearly.
Got that one little thought gets in the way of
One
the
little
love
thought.
that's already there.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Crazy.
One little thought can shut the whole thing down. And yeah, blows me away every time I see this. Here it is again. Oh my God. So let's turn around this one little thought that you're not caring. What would be an opposite?
I am caring,
Mm.
and
So,
I am caring, and I am caring, and sometimes the stress makes me forget it.
yeah, exactly. So the turnaround is I am
Yeah,
caring. And the example is, yeah, I am caring. The stress makes me forget it sometimes. And
that's it. Yeah,
so I get, I get, I get anxious. Let's go. We got to get to the other place, right? Got to go. But it doesn't mean that I'm not
yes,
caring.
yes,
They're not mutually exclusive. One may cover the other. It may look like I don't care,
right.
but it's not really true.
And
Any other example for you how you are caring even when you pull her away, even when you pulled her away?
because when she shared with me, And she wasn't blaming me or anything. She was just said, I'm sharing you so I could let you know how I'm feeling. So she was like
Hmm.
really cool with it. And an example would be I, instead of saying something back like to defend myself, I just stayed silent and felt to the best of my ability what her upset, to sort of just sit there with it and go, okay, sit with it. She shared something with me. Just stay with it for a while and see what happens. So,
That's
yeah,
cool.
so that would be like, yeah.
That's you caring.
But, yeah, yeah, when I, looking at it now, going back there, yeah, I cared about her upset, that she was upset,
Yeah.
and that I may
Yeah.
have been something to do with it, and I did when we got out of the car, I said, I'm sorry. And it was,
There
she
it is
said, no
again.
problem. No, she just wanted to share. And it was like, so another, I don't know if it's a turnaround, but or whatever it is, it's like what we went through and what I'm going through now is like, it was actually a positive experience that we shared with each other,
Mhm.
that we're deeper in communication now. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So I was seeing a lot of examples there as you were speaking of how you were actually caring,
Mm,
and the mind discards those in the moment. It just goes, "Oh my God, she's upset. I pulled her away. Oh my God, I'm not caring.
right.
I'm a terrible person.
Right.
I'm no good." But here it is. In reality, a lot of caring was actually happening, including in her upset.
Whoa.
How about go back to the moment when you were trying to go from one place to the next place and you said, "Hey, come on, we gotta go." Can you find caring even in that?
Well, oh boy, that's a tough one because I felt I was, being selfish. So one of it was to come back to get to this call.
Ha.
So, I mean, I could look at it, although I don't know if it's a cop out, whatever, but because of this call and because of how I'm seeing things newly now, I could say that's caring because now, after this call, I will be even more compassionate towards her. Even the next level of, I'm even more sorry. And I don't mean that in a negative way. The sorry, I don't mean it that way at
Mhm.
all. But it's like, I understand you more, and I will try even harder, next time to, catch it.
That's so
So,
cool. Yeah. So even your urgency to get away, to get her going, was motivated by a desire, I'm guessing, to get a little like
yes.
clearer about how to be less stressful in any situation. And turns out this one came up, so lucky you. So, so yeah, there's caring. You're caring. Like, it wasn't like, oh, I'm just gonna go out and I don't know, get drunk or something,
Right.
right? It was like
Right.
there was some caring there.
That's beautiful. That's a great context. I like that.
It's cool. It kind of another, it kind of bleeds over into another turnaround, which is I'm, and maybe it's a double turnaround, but it still kind of makes sense. It's like I'm caring, um, I'm caring of myself a little bit, like I'm taking care of, yeah, and it does kind of feel like a double turnaround. So where I'm going in terms of the real turnaround is I'm not caring of myself. In that situation, how are you not caring of yourself when you were like, yeah, you see it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's sort of like it's okay to have boundaries. Is that another way of saying that?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And then I could do thousands of judge myself on I don't deserve boundaries, but that
Uh-huh.
I think take your
Right.
9-week course for that one.
Right. So when I don't care about my boundaries, then I end up getting anxious and I end up pushing other people too, like it becomes, but if I really do care about my boundaries, then I've expressed them in ways that isn't shocking to people because I'm doing it I'm taking care of what is feels important to me. So I am, yeah, I don't know. We're kind of losing the thread here a little bit, but it's like
Yeah,
I originally we were thinking I'm not caring. I'm not caring of her or something.
not true.
But what we're seeing is maybe I was just not caring of myself, and that was what
Oh boy.
caused it to be showing up that way. So, like, how could you be more caring of yourself if you were ever in a situation just like that again?
To share, to be honest, to be honest and
Mm.
to be honest and do the work right there and say, give me 3 minutes. Let me pull out my paper and pen, do a quick, and
Hmm.
give me 3 minutes to take care of myself. And that will probably benefit you. Yeah. So, like, I got to just say stop for me. Just stop and to those thoughts, I guess.
Exactly. So it's like
Yeah.
we've got to go gets turned around to I've got to go. I've got to go take care of this for a minute. I'll be back.
And it could be just from, whoa. Oh, those are boundaries, aren't they? Whoa. Give me a minute.
Yeah. So like if I'm really sharing what my boundaries are, like or what my experience
Oh,
is, I'm feeling stressed because I really want to go to this call
yeah.
and I explain it like that, then
Oh,
if you notice the difference, if you explain it like
yeah.
that versus come on, we got to go without explaining, which one feels more stressful,
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So when I explain it, suddenly we're on the same team and we can work it out. Maybe I decide not to go to that call, or maybe
Right.
she decides to come. Like there's a kind of negotiation that can happen. But if I'm just saying gotta go without
Got it.
giving any explanation, then suddenly uh, it's like a command or something,
Yes.
and I feel like I'm not caring. She may feel that
Yes.
too, and right. So me taking care of
Yeah.
myself and sharing what's actually going on turns out to be caring for both of us. But even in spite of all that, we've seen a lot of examples where you were still caring throughout this whole thing. So there's no problem, right? This is just level layers again. And that's what I love about the work is you always end up finding new ways of doing things. Like, oh, right, I could try that next time. Like, and then I'm like, can't wait till the next time I feel anxious about getting her moving because I'm gonna try some of these things and see what works and what doesn't. Keep refining the process.
That's a beautiful way to look at life.
It is.
Being excited about
It
the
is.
stuff that's going to come up in life that's going to throw you off.
It's coming up anyway. Might as well. But really, it's like when I do this work, that's why I love the work of Byron Katie, because it shows me ways of looking at situations that I normally wouldn't think of. And that shows me options for acting in those kind of situations again that I wouldn't normally have thought of. So I really do get excited. Like wow, cool. Can't wait to see how these kind of interactions could go. And I've watched with my partner over the years, these types of interactions that used to be so stressful have started to become completely easy because I or we have found ways of of communicating, of making it work, of seeing like I'm seeing it differently. So cool stuff. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So
Okay.
appreciate it.